Okay, so I had picked up the deck and I was just shuffling it. I was just really trying to move the cards around and have nothing necessarily come out. I didn't really want cards to come out, and that flew out. And then this like frequency came up on my YouTube, and it was like manifesting love. And then I was like, well, we're not just manifesting love, we're manifesting something else too. And then so I was like, well, what does that card say? So I grabbed it, and it says marriage, financial security, family, wealth, legacy, community, home, established. Home and established are two different words. And I was like, yeah, that's what we're manifesting. So love and all those things I just said, and a couple things more that aren't on this card, this 10 of Pentacles. So this 6 of Cups came out in reverse. These are repressed messages, by the way. We have the 2 of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Wands. A bunch of cards flew out while I was talking to you about this card. 9 of Wands, Justice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I need one more. So back to what I was saying. So someone is trying to manifest love. So this is a repressed message, yes, but I feel like this is also a now message. I feel like it's a possibility that this was happening last year, like I want to say around the end of September, early October, and I'm about to explain why, but I think this year it's happening earlier. So I think it's repressed and I think it's now, but basically someone is trying to manifest love because they're starting to look at the calendar and they're starting to realize that it's getting like close to the holidays and they don't have anybody to like share it with. And so the purpose for this reading, I believe, when that 10 of Pentacles flew out is, and that frequency came on my television, is that this reading is going to try to show you how to do that. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to do that yet, but I want some more cards on the table because I think it probably will. At least in a general sense, get your mind thinking about manifestation in a way that you didn't consider it before, so that when you do go into it, when you do go into it this time, that you do it in a way where you're not sabotaging yourself, right? You have a choice to do that. You have a choice not to sabotage yourself. You have a choice not to have it backfire is what I'm seeing here. Look at it. All these cards on the second row are upside down. Let's see, so we have the 6 of Cups upside down. I saw that on this top row. And then Strength is upside down. So everything else is upright, right? Yes. And then everything is upside down on the bottom row. I want 3 more cards before we talk about this here. Because I'm not exactly sure where this story is going to start. I don't know if it's going to like give a history or if it's just going to go into this is how we do it. I don't know. Let me see. I know that you want to talk. I don't know what this is. These cards are like sticking together, just kind of fanning out in some lazy way. No, we'll pull them. I don't care. We'll pull them. Yeah, see? Oh, wow. Oh. God, okay, I'm getting it. Okay. Okay, look at that. Okay. Interesting. I'm getting 2 sides of this. So I'm getting like a male side and a female side. So I suspect that that's like male. I suspect that that's male, female energies. Like sides of this story. So what I got when I saw that Queen of Cups was, if you're female and you're looking for love, and you're in that energy where it's becoming towards the holidays, you're like, I want to have dinner with someone, or I want to celebrate Christmas with someone, or whatever you're thinking about, right? It could just be like a birthday celebration. You could be having a big birthday. You might be like, I want somebody special there. What they're saying is that you want to be in your Queen of Cups energy. So you want to be in this loving, nurturing energy, because you could manifest whatever you want. This is kind of like what I'm seeing kind of down here, is you can manifest any kind of disgustingness you want. But if you want like love, and you want support, and you want all the things that come on this card, and like more stuff, because I got loyalty too. I don't think that's on that card. No, it's marriage, financial security, family, wealth, legacy, community, home, and established. And I think the established is coming through, because I think in certain situations in the past, depending on what kind of relationships that you might have had, and I'm talking now to the male or the female energy, your relationship never really got a chance to be like solid, because somebody was always messing with it. You weren't allowed to have what you wanted, which is this stuff here that's upside down. See, I feel like this is kind of like soulmate energy, but I also feel like this is kind of like wanting to give energy, and I feel like that's been stifled. And it's not just like the home, but it's the family, and like I said, it's everything on this card. But the difference is that this time, when we're thinking about like the future, we're thinking about it in terms of what we can do about it, as opposed to, gosh, every year I'm alone. We're not in that energy anymore. We are in this energy of, hey, I want someone here this year. What can I do? So again, back to the female energy, they're saying to be in this, whatever you want from someone, loyalty, marriage, all that stuff, you need to make sure that you are in that energy. Don't be that person that wants like a marriage, but the only thing you really care about is the wedding, right? Like once the wedding's done, you're bored. Like, manifest something that you want, because you can manifest stuff that you don't want if you want to. Okay, this is coming off right now as like player, trickster energy. This is kind of like, this guy right here is coming off like a problem that you manifested because you weren't specific about what you wanted in a love relationship. That's how he's coming off. So for the female energy, this card actually says mother, psychic, empathic, loyal. Here we go. We said loyalty, loving, obsessive, caring. It does say obsessive, caring, family oriented, and emotional. But I feel like that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you want to be like protected, be nurturing to someone who's protective. You get what I'm saying? So that's for the females right there. Now for the males that are that want to be with someone who, they want to spend the holidays with, I'm also getting take home to their family. Okay? So again, I'm going to tell you, if you want to manifest this character in female form, you can do that. It's going to look a little bit different than what I just described, and I don't really care to describe it right now. If you want to manifest somebody that you can bring home to your family, then again, it's something similar of, you have to be in that energy where you match. But more importantly, you need to understand that when you're choosing someone, again, you can choose what you don't want. If you don't want to, you can bring them right home to mom. But you don't have to. So again, be in the energy of what you're trying to attract. If you're a loving person and you want love and you want companionship and you want loyalty and you want that stuff over there, don't attract somebody who's shallow. Don't do that. And the reason why I'm specifically talking to men right now is because sometimes men have the tendency to fall for that. Whereas women, I see, not always, there are energies flip around, of course. But a lot of times I feel like it's a woman who gets tired of being treated a certain way by somebody who thinks they're all that. And they that person automatically starts to not look as good to them. Whereas sometimes I still feel like if the female is in their feminine energy, but she's kind of acting up, I feel like sometimes she can still get the man to chase her because he's hoping he can change her. And, again, we just talked about attracting somebody that was like us, not somebody we had to change. So if you're going to go into this and you want to bring someone home to your family, I don't care if it's your sister, bring home someone who your sister would get along with. Because if you get along with your sister, then I was going to say you're going to need that, but then I was going to say you're going to expect that, but I was going to say you should expect that. Don't come to my house and treat my sister like crap because you're jealous of our relation. Again, that's the wrong person. You picked the wrong person if that's going on at Thanksgiving dinner. So you need to choose someone who's like you, who's kind-hearted, who's loving, who's loyal, who loves you. And so I think that's part of the reason why this is coming out now, is because last year it was starting to hit Halloween. And it was kind of like, oh crap, I don't even have somebody to like go to Halloween parties, or I got trick-or-treating with. So I don't know, maybe somebody has kids or something, but either way, there's a certain thing sometimes, at certain parts of the year, and again, stores try to do it on purpose by releasing merchandise early, but they want to put you in the mood. And sometimes you're in the mood. And so for Halloween, which is the last day of October, you're in the mood the whole month. But also I think more importantly, it does let you know, oh my God, the holidays are coming. Oh my God, 20 days later or whatever, it's going to be Thanksgiving and then it's going to be Christmas. And so people start to look at the end of the year and they either start to have regrets or things that they want to do before the end of the year. I don't care if it's financial. They start looking at things they want to do by the end of the year. And I think this is what is happening right now. And I think, like I said, it's not just love, it's marriage. It's probably good friends. We didn't go through all the cards, but that story that I gave basically covers all the cards, except for there could be a little bit of interference here. I kind of would like to pull this third row. I'm not sure. The interference could be internal. I am getting that from the Two of Pentacles, but I'm kind of getting like two things. So we'll see what that means. What is that on top of? The Ten of Swords in reverse. And so this is, what is that? Oh, this is the Nine of Wands in reverse. So the Nine of Wands in reverse is on top of this. Yeah, well, that makes sense. And then we have the Sun in reverse on top of this. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So this energy is kind of like not extremely happy. Because I think in the past when they did have someone like for the holidays, that person, okay, we lost some cards. Cards down. The person like made it less fun. Like they either picked a fight with their family or, they picked a fight with their own family. And so, when they did go out for, this upside down King of Wands on top of this upside down Magician, it was unpleasant. And now the moon's upside down. So, sorry. So even though we long to have someone like, let's say for the holidays, and this could be anything. To be honest with you, I'm also picking up like this video is going to be relevant like in December or January when Valentine's Day is coming up. Like it's that energy of, oh, I really want to be with some, I really want to celebrate. This year I want to celebrate this with someone. And so, I think to a certain extent there's an apprehension both on the male and female energy side of approaching something new and being afraid of getting the same thing that they're going to get. But this is why I'm telling you. First of all, as a female, if you approach this authentically, you're going to find somebody who's going to match you. I mean, you might, like if you're an empath and you're approaching it as an empath, you might attract a narcissist, but like I just told you, don't pick the narcissist. You can if you want. But you don't have to. You don't have to. So she is her. And so I feel like, I think this reading is really saying both to the male and female energies watching this is if you're afraid of getting the same thing, don't pick the same thing. Don't pick the same type of person. Just don't do it. Oh, this person reminds me of you. If that person reminds you of your ex and your ex didn't treat you very well, run. Right? Unless you're talking about love and it's a good feeling. But again, if it's love and it was that person that was bipolar and like turned on you, again, run. Because that love, that wasn't like, oh, it was like not toxic, and then when the person turned on me it was toxic. The love was probably toxic too. I've kind of mentioned before on this channel, like it's kind of like when you meet somebody and you're talking to them, and then the person like they text you every morning and they're like, good morning, like, you know, every morning, good morning, and you know, and I've talked to girls before who were like, I hate that they do that, they expect me to like right in the morning like say good, you know. But then other girls will say, well, I love that they say good morning to me every morning. But then I was saying that later on, you know, you like that about them, but then later on you find out that the reason why they're like that is because they're controlling, like they're trying to see what you're doing, they're trying to see what, you know what I mean. And so then that thing that you liked in the relationship becomes negative. And then so when you're going forward, you're afraid to take that thing with you. You're afraid to select that thing, you know. But you liked the everyday texting, but you didn't like the control that was attached to it. So I feel like to a certain extent, this reading is saying the two don't go together. You can text somebody every morning and say good morning without being controlling, without being too attached, without being codependent, right? Again, you can choose. So what I think this reading is trying to say is this time choose wisely. Don't choose someone who's unhappy inside and then expect that you're going to be happy with them. I feel like I'm getting that off of this card too. And I feel like this Tower upside down is literally that you don't have to. This Nine of Wands here, I pick up this card a lot lately as like them dropping wands. So there's 9 wands on this card, but he's only holding 1 and he's walking away from 8 of them. And so I've been calling that dropping wands, kind of like, well, if I want to move forward, I'm not going to move forward with all my burdens. You know, I'm going to grab this one thing that I want for me. And these aren't necessarily negative or positive, but these might be tied to somebody else. You know, maybe the person that we were with that broke our heart had black hair, but the next person that we're walking towards has blonde hair. Like, we can't take that with us. If we do, we're going to be doing that thing when, oh, you should dye your hair black. You would look so cute. Again, we didn't get together with somebody to change them. So if you're authentic, then the first thing you need to do is make sure that the other person that you're sharing yourself with is authentic. And then once you figure out that they're authentic, then by their other behavior, you can figure out if they're compatible. This is important because you have gotten yourself to a point where you're on a certain level of like enlightenment, to the point where you kind of know how to get what you want. And like I said, that could be anything. And you don't want to choose someone who's clumsy, who creates by accident, who brings drama or crap because they're not conscious. You want to choose somebody different this time, and especially if you got something last time that you didn't like. I'm getting that off of this. What is this card? The Nine of Wands upside down. So for all intents and purposes, this is the first row, and then all intents and purposes, this is the third row, and this is our Nine of Wands upside down again, but we're next to the Sun in reverse. And so I kind of feel like it's the ability to choose. Do we have just only one wand in our hand? I feel like on this one we do. Yes, and we're facing away from the wands. We can choose, and I was going to call it the wrong wand, but it's not even really the wrong wand because it's our choice. We chose it. That's how the universe sees it. And that's why also with this Tower in reverse, it's kind of like whatever you bring with you and you decide, you're choosing. You're telling the universe that you chose that. I kind of understand why now, because we've been talking a lot about how people have been in situations that at first, a lot of times on this channel, we talked about the Tower ending it. The Tower was going to end it. If they didn't get out of it, the Tower was going to end it. I feel like I'm singing like a Wizard of Oz song. And then after that, it was kind of like, well, the universe is going to end it for you. So the Tower upside down. And I think it was like the Wheel of Force or Justice or something else was upside. Death was upside down, kind of telling us the same thing. Like, it's not going to be ended for you. It's not going to be ended for you. I think the reason why is because the timelines are splitting. So like I said, this has been going on, like even from last year, like the timeline that I mentioned, that end of September, early October energy, like the timelines were splitting even before that. So the timelines are splitting. And so I think what's happening right now is these upside down towers and these upside down deaths are basically the universe's reflection of saying that you're doing this, you're like moving away from each other. They both started at the train station, but they're both moving in opposite directions. So this whole game that they've been playing about moving back and forth in between, wanting, let's say you wanting somebody, or whatever's going on, like in a situation, this could be you, or you could be watching for somebody else. But in the whole situation where things have been going a little bit back and forth, or a little bit wonky, or, I got out of the relationship and then I got into another relationship, it was the same thing. Stuff like that. Now they're saying that if you keep choosing the same thing, you're just gonna have it, because that whole fun timeline that you keep moving away from, you're making choices that are choosing you to move away from it. That's why these cards have been coming up, because now the trains are getting far and far enough away from each other where you can't really hop back and forth anymore. The people who are making the negative choices, it's going to be harder and harder to come out of those negative choices, because they're creating, the snowball effect or the momentum behind it, but more importantly, they're moving in a direction that it's going to be harder to get out of. And so this reading is saying you can have whatever you want. If you want somebody to be there, you can create somebody to be there tomorrow. But you can also create somebody to be there who you do not want. And so the universe is saying, be smart about it this time. Be smart about it if you want loyalty. Be smart about it if you want marriage and love and all the things that come, like stability was on this card, right? Because when somebody comes and they bring this, it's not stable. You could choose that again. You have that choice. You are such a powerful creator that if you say, I want somebody there for the holidays, you can have it. The universe will say, so be it. But when you start making choices and you say, I want her or I want him, you better make sure you're not choosing somebody who's completely shallow or completely mean or completely narcissistic or sociopathic and then take them to mom. When you make your choices, make them smart. Is this somebody you would want to be the mother of your children? If they're screaming at you, or there's something else going on, or they don't like kids, but you want kids, are you sure? You need to make that choice, because again, whatever you make, I'm getting you're going to get stuck with it. This King of Wands in reverse has the potential to either become this trickster or to bring this trickster into existence and look at it as it's like it's some kind of victory. But I still feel like when they finally figure out that they're going to be stuck in it, they're going to feel like they lost more than they gained. You have Justice on the table, and we have the Wheel of Fortune underneath it, and then this is the Six of Pentacles. So I have the Six of Wands and the Six of Pentacles on the table. And then the last one is the Strength upside down with the Six of Swords. And this Moon upside down. Now this Moon upside down, I keep getting that part of the reason why the wrong types of people keep getting picked is because we feel like there's some kind of like ancient Chinese secret or Scooby-Doo mystery to it. Like we're missing something. We don't know something. Like people who have good relationships know something. I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think it's intuition, which is funny because this card upright, I think is, the first thing it says is intuition, truth, secret, dream, imagination, change, mystery, right? When it's upside down, it's confusion, let me even see what it says. That's the negative tribute for it. Clear thinking, beneficial changes, clarifying the matter, ending the clutter, daydreaming. See, I'm picking up both. I'm picking up like the positive and negative attributes of this card, and I'm actually picking up the positive and negative attributes of it like upright and in reverse. Right now, originally it was sitting here in reverse, but a lot of times when I see the Moon in reverse, I get that I can get information. I can get more information out of this if I want, right? Which is about what we're about ready to try to do. But also, like I said, I'm getting that we're kind of like, oh, I'm afraid, like, I don't know, like, I want somebody to be there. But again, like, let's just say I want to take this person to my mom, or I want to take this person to my family, or let's just say that I'm tired of being alone. I want to introduce this person to my, 4-year-old daughter. You know, we already know we want to be a family. I think family's on that card. You know, this card right here, that I think there's you know, people who are happy, you know, they're following some kind of secret formula. First of all, that's not true. And also, I think that inside that, you know, to a certain degree, that that's not necessarily true. But what I don't think you know is that those people that are happy in their relationships, they followed their intuition. They picked something that they wanted. That's all there is to it. I mean, you know, once you get into it, you want to try, but that's not picking someone. See, this is upside down. When you choose this one, it's great for like, I don't know, maybe 90 days. I'm not even exaggerating, dude. It could be good for longer than that, but you know, for the most part, the Queen of Wands upside down doesn't really turn into the Queen of Wands upside down like after the relationship started. She was like that before you met her. You met her, you started dating her, and then she started to, you know, show her true colors. So to a certain extent, I feel like when you do choose that and you're terrorized in your own house, I feel like it's, you chose it, you saw it. At some point you saw it. You just figured you could either change it, I keep saying it, or that wasn't a real sign, or that person's not really like that, or they won't do that again. And a lot of times what you find out is like after 10 or 12 years or something, it's even worse than you thought. That little indication, sometimes that tiny little indication, was almost kind of like, for lack of better words, a mask slip. And, you know, later on you find out, you see another one that's even bigger, and you realize, oh my God, like I saw that before. I just thought it wasn't real because the person was so angry about this or that. I didn't realize that was in their character, and it was. And you overlooked it. You overlooked that sign. And that's why sometimes when people, you know, do things, like you do things to them once and they don't mess with you anymore, it's because they know that that's in your character. It's not just the one time. So even if you didn't get hurt, it's kind of like what people talk about when you're dating and somebody's mean to the waitress. Just because they weren't mean to you doesn't mean they won't be, right? If the waitress was going to say, well, I'm not going to bring you that, you know, what would happen then? Look at this. And this is not a match for this. And I think this is what we're talking about, because I kind of like, I feel like I'm talking to the divine, I'm like, well, divine masculine, but I'm talking to a masculine right now, or a Scorpio, about, you know, picking the wrong thing. This Magician in reverse is just as dangerous as that Queen of Wands in reverse. People like that wear us down. And we already know that. This is, again, this isn't an ancient Chinese secret. We already know that. And what's this? Six of Swords says communication, level of secrecy, travel, tough conversations, moving on, progress. I'm getting that. Okay, so I'm getting like this whole thing is like starting a relationship, but having the choice to like pick the wrong thing or do the wrong thing or operate on the wrong thing or take more things than you want to with you, you know, being who you are or being who you want to be or being who you want to attract to get what you want, but still, you know, keeping your eyes open for somebody who's pretending, you know, all this stuff. This whole thing is like kind of like talking about dating or trying to get to dating. And this is, you know, saying that you kind of need to pay attention to your intuition. But the Six of Swords also is kind of like, to me, the process of it. I think that's even the last word on the card. I think it says progress, but it's the process of it. It's the moving forward. Like the strength is kind of telling me you don't need strength. Again, if you choose the right person, you don't need strength to move forward. It's fun. It's not work. What's that? The Six of Pentacles. What does that say on top of Justice and Wheel of Fortune? Gratitude, material benefits, gifts, financial support, share the wealth, grants. Like, it's almost like a recognition of talent, like I see, you know, giving. And so to me, this is almost like a triumph card of like, you know, this is part of what I want to do. So it's not just about what we want to have or who we want to be. It's like what we want to do. Where is that? What we want to do. And this card is saying, well, you can be in that, whatever you choose. Whatever you choose. If you find your match and you live the life that you love and you get everything you want out of it and there's no pain involved from this person because they're, you know, healed and they were smart when they picked their match as well, then you're going to get to keep that forever. See, that King of Cups is kind of telling me like I'm talking to a masculine, but that Queen of Cups is heavy in this reading. Like feminine energy is heavy on this reading too. I'm talking to everybody. The Queen of Cups can just as easily choose a Queen of Wands in reverse. Men can be in their negative female energy and drive you just as batshit as the other way around. I don't think this deck wants to talk anymore. That's interesting. It just like put like a pair on the table, like what I would kind of consider a divine pair on the table, but I'm thinking more of like soulmate energy, which is that Six of Cups over there. That's in reverse. Yeah, this deck doesn't want to talk anymore. Let's see what the universal laws have to say. I bet you this video is going to be a little bit longer. Like, I don't know what it says right now. Oh yeah, we're at 30 minutes. Yeah, I'll probably do like 2 or 3 more minutes here. I'm sure everybody's left by now anyway. It said, go out and pick me. Got it. And then, you know, left. What's this? The law of compensation, but it's upside down. It says, give that which you seek. So I kind of feel like if you did get that from this video and run away, you didn't get the whole message. You know, the whole message is be that what you want, give that what you seek, offer that which you want to receive. That's that thing that we said. Energetically, if you're offering that, trust and believe you will get that back. This one flipped out. It's also in reverse, the law of destiny. It's written in the stars. What you wholeheartedly desire is your destiny. Yes, it's true, but when it's in reverse, it means you're kind of choosing against it and you're using like, I was going to say the Wheel of Fortune, interesting, to deliver it. It makes things take longer because when you choose the wrong thing, you have to go through that cycle and the wheel spins, but time goes by and, especially if you're truly trying to find, you're the King of Cups and you're trying to find her. You got caught up with her because you made that choice. That's that freaking Two of Pentacles right there. And the Two of Wands, I feel like. Again, I feel like she's looking at the Two of Pentacles. I made the choice. Made the choice. And when we're really stuck in it, we're like, shh. One more flipped out, and it is also upside down. The law of vibration. Practice the art of not knowing and start flowing. Okay, I have something helpful to offer for you on this, and it's actually really relevant. Okay, so I kind of understand what flow is now. Okay. So, to a certain extent, from an energetic point of view. Okay, so I determined that, when you're interacting with people or when you're interacting in relationships, and, for yourself included, but this is kind of, I feel like, more when you're, on a vibration and you're putting it out there into the universe, which is what you're doing when you're trying to manifest having somebody come towards you, right? Or trying to find your love. You want to put that vibration out there. I feel like there's, 5, I don't even know what to call them. I just kind of came up with this the other day, but I feel like there's kind of 5, let's call it states you could be in, right? So I feel like you could, and male or female, and this is why a lot of times we don't make a big deal in tarot about male or female, or, every time we say male, we try to include the females too, because a lot of times in energy, when we're talking about energy, if we're talking about tarot, we're not necessarily talking about energy. I'm talking about energy. When I talk about energy, I'm talking about male or female energy. That has to be acknowledged no matter what anybody wants to do or what they want to call themselves or what else is going on. Because at the end of the day, when you're trying to get into a relationship with somebody else's balance, you want that male and female energy to be balanced within yourself, right? So those 5 states that you could be in are either that you can be in like a negative male energy. You can be in a negative female energy. You can be in a positive male energy. You can be in a positive female energy, or you can be in a state of flow. What does that mean? So I kind of feel like if you're in, so this is the negative female energy that I'm talking about, okay? And actually, to be honest with you, this is the positive female energy that I'm talking about, all right? So I feel like when you're in this energy, you're kind of in this energy. You can't be in this energy and in this energy at the same time, right? If you're in this energy and in this energy at the same time, you're pretending when you're in this energy, first of all. So there's that. So you're either in your negative female energy or you're in your positive female energy, right? So when you're doing this, you're doing this. This is what I'm saying. When you're trying to date, you're going to pick this out because they're doing it. They're it. That's what they are. That's what they're coming as, right? And then you have this like King of Cups and this this Magician in reverse energy. This can be your positive male energy, you know, caring and like supportive and it has their emotions in check. Or you can be this Magician in reverse, which is, you know, from what I understand, but even more than what I understand about this card in reverse, I'm picking up like player, trickster, like someone who says one thing and does another. They're not solid at all. They have no emotions. Like this is what I'm talking about, that's negative male energy. So when you're getting, you know, mistreated physically, that's this guy. When you're getting mistreated physically, that's her. When you're getting screamed at and oppressed, that's her. When you're getting loved unconditionally, when you're caring and emotional, you found your match, right? Now let's talk about flow. So I feel like if you are the type of person that can sometimes be in a positive male energy and sometimes be in a positive female energy, and you can get yourself to the point where you kind of just are you are you. It's what I said about this card. When you go into the situation, you have to be you so that you can meet somebody who's them, who can match you. And then I said, make sure that you know that they're being them, and then make sure that they match you. Remember, we said that. So when you are you and you go into this thing being you, you will attract someone on that vibration. Where's that law of vibration? Here. So it really is all in the picking. And I know that sometimes you guys think you're just getting like the same thing. And so you're just picking, you know, but it's funny, and we don't have time on this video, but I watched this video, this documentary on attraction like years ago, like 15 or more years ago, and they since had taken it down, and I haven't even seen it. I feel like I have to like hunt it down or pay for it or something. But it talked about how and why like people are attracted to each other, and you'd be surprised. That dumb thought process that we let get in our way about, oh, you know, this person is perfect for me because they open the door, whatever the hell we put in our heads to when we go to try to pursue somebody. A lot of times too, it's a possibility that we're not paying attention to ourselves and what we're putting out there. Because if we're genuine and we just assume that everybody's genuine, we can easily pick up these negative energies, right? And just be in them. That's what I'm saying. Just be in them. At least if you were just stuck in this or stuck in this, it wouldn't be bad, right? But some people are stuck in this, right? Because this is what I want it to be. I want it to be in my negative female energy. Like I said, even when I'm being nice, I'm faking it. So it's not like, well, sometimes she's going, sometimes no bullshit. These people are who they are inside. They're not flipping back and forth unless they're, you know, bipolar. And then you have this one right here, right? So the negative male energy was what we were calling it. So if you just exist and you exist as yourself, I feel like you exist in a state of flow. Somebody might say something to you and it might throw you in here for just a second, but then you're just as easily capable of coming back out and being this guy or her. Or, you know, maybe you're having a great day, but then somebody says something nasty to you. Now you want to fight with them, you know, but then you can just flow out. So you're not stuck. And like I said, if you're going to be stuck here if you're trying to attract somebody. Don't spend time in these energies. If you don't want somebody who's gossipy and talks bad about you behind your back, you don't want to be in a relationship who tells other people your business or tells other people negative things about you so that you can look bad or they can look better, then don't do that shit when you're looking for someone. This is kind of like what we're saying, right? The energy won't lie. Where is it? We got destiny, vibration, and compensation. Compensation. Give that which you seek. Remember, it was upside down. So, sorry, all that. But, I take this request that you say seriously. I take the fact that you truly want somebody to be there this year and you don't want to dick around anymore. And I will tell you that this is the answer. This is absolutely 100% the answer. It's the reason why people stop dating. Because they either don't know if they can find what they're actually looking for, or they don't know what they're looking for, or they feel like maybe they need to kind of change themselves just a little bit so that if they did find what they were looking for, they could identify it if they saw it in a lineup. So we've got cycles. What does that say? Midgard serpent. Jormungandr. Here, hopefully you can read that. But cycles. We keep picking the same person, right? We have chaos. Heartbeat. I was gonna say earlier, and it's funny because I lost the point because I was saying something else really, really fast. But that's this character here. So, but that's also her too. Where is she? Oh, hell yeah. So the chaos, this is the other thing too. When we make excuses for people and we're like, oh, they just don't know how to act or whatever, they bring this stuff into our lives. They bring chaos. They bring cycles. They bring, so it's not even just about, we're doing this. We're doing this. We're going to do this over and over again. And each time it's going to be more and more chaotic. And the universe isn't even going to get you out of it anymore. You're just going to be stuck in it because you chose it. And then this one is focus. And this is kind of like what I was saying about deciding who you want to be, or deciding who you want to attract, or deciding who you want to be. I feel like this is a message for like pretty much immediately. Like if you want to bring someone in, now's the time to do it. Today. Just like this, just like I said, just do this. Sometimes you can do this by default, just by stopping certain things. Stop fighting with people. That's that negative male energy. Stop gossiping behind people's back. That's that negative female energy. If you just gave yourself 2 rules and then told yourself to just be real at every other time, you would like skate through this and someone would probably just show up. But on top of that, you could do anything like that. Just one thing that you identify. If you know that there's a vice that you've been telling yourself you stop. If you don't want somebody else, if you don't want to meet somebody else who does that, let's say you smoke cigarettes, but you want somebody who doesn't smoke. So you got to quit. You got to quit, right? You can't be like, well, I'm going to smoke, but you can't smoke, right? That's not going to work for you because that's not balance anyway. That 2 of Pentacles. You're going to end up getting something you don't want. Even if you started out with the Queen of Cups, you're going to end up with the upside down Queen of Wands because you pissed her off. Why are you allowed to do stuff I'm not allowed to do? So you have to make the change. This has been what we've been talking about. If you don't want smoke in the house, then get somebody who's not going to bring smoke in the house. That'll be you this time, right? That's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying. Make the damn changes. Stop doing what everybody else does and talk about it and don't do it because that's why your situation doesn't change, and then you accept it because you've already accepted it. If you truly want something different, do something different. I promise you it will change. Keep that in mind. Until next time.